All right, everybody. Welcome to The Rinse. It's March 8th, 2026. It's 7:30 p.m. and holy crap, it is still light out. I wasn't really expecting this. I didn't know that it was daylight savings time until last night. Luckily, I found out until before bedtime, so I was okay. So yeah, hope everybody's doing okay with the time change. I saw something on the news today about driving safely with that extra hour that we had to account for. So hopefully everybody slept in. I'm happy that they do it on a weekend. So all right, so looping back around, let's go over the World Baseball Classic so far. Last week we didn't have a show. I was talking to Jerry Lopez though on Monday, and we started talking about World Baseball Classic, baseball in general. It's funny, on Mouthwash on Tuesday, I even talked about this where Jerry and I didn't even get to make our picks yet or anything like that. So I'll have to reach out to him and figure out what. I'm sure he's going to be like Cuba. Which Cuba is 2-0 right now. So they're looking pretty strong in Pool A with Puerto Rico. And then Pool B, we got Italy and the U.S. at 2-0. Japan already clinched. They're going to be 3-0. Barley, what the hell are you doing? Sorry for the cat. He's an idiot. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, buddy. And then Pool C in Tokyo. Yeah, that is Japan's one. So they've already clinched. They've won 3 games. And then Pool D in Miami. Barley, get your butt out of there. Yeah. And then, Pool D in Miami. Dominican Republic. They just won today. If the U.S. or Japan doesn't win Dominican Republic, I don't know how. It's going to be interesting to see how some of these teams get beat. I think Dominican Republic, they have just so much power. Watching them today, I mean, like Soto hit a bomb, a couple other guys did too, and I don't know about anybody else, but I didn't think that the U.S. was as impressive as we should have been against Great Britain the other night. It took a little while. We gave up a home run first pitch of the game. We gave up a home run to Great Britain. It wasn't until like the 5th or 6th that we really tied it back up, and then Schwarber hit that bomb that was just beautiful and majestic. And again, I do love the World Baseball Classic because it allows me to become fans of players that I usually don't like because of their allegiance to a certain North Side team who has just the worst fans. Just hate them so much. The Cubs is who I was describing there. So yeah, still a little sore. I just don't like them. But yeah, Schwarber playing for U.S. though, I can get behind that. So yeah, 2-0. They're playing tomorrow night. We should know more by Mouthwash on Tuesday. Speaking of Tuesday, I don't know who our guest is going to be on Mouthwash yet. But one of the things that I did want to do with this show specifically was kind of go back to some of the things that we were talking about during Mouthwash the previous week, so that we can kind of resolve things, hopefully. But actually, what I found this week, I felt like I kind of like let out a secret that Slick Witty didn't care for Tiffany, and I didn't understand like the reasoning behind it, but Tiffany has just said the nicest things about Slick Witty, and I wanted to play this because uh, we're in control of what we put out there, Slick Witty, you know. And so I wanna show Tiffany
Yes,
just
one
talking
of the
nice.
reasons Slick Witty doesn't like me is because of I guess he doesn't like the way people are accepting me, I guess. But I'm just really really happy with the folks who are endorsing me and helping me out. So it's going
Yeah,
No,
really
that's
well.
good.
hey,
That's good.
don't feel bad. Slick Woody's, attacked me a couple times. So
Yeah.
if you,
But you
it
know what?
means that's his language of love.
I really respect what he's been able to carve out with informing people about stuff.
Mm.
So as much as he probably doesn't like me, I do like the lane that he's found. Um, and I read his stuff. So
Yeah,
there you
I'll tell you what, he can.
Which I do want to say that when she did say that, was heaping the praise on him, my cat just basically showed his asshole to the screen at that point. So I think that is more like nature kind of stepping in and saying what nature needs to say against somebody. I'm just kidding, Woody. Love you.
He digs. He needs to call 811. He digs so much. He's got to have it on speed while speed dog is chop 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 dig dig dig. He does that a lot. Well,
he does a great job. He does a great job.
No, and seriously. So again, Tiffany is just saying any reporter does a great job digging around, finding the stories. Again, I think that they were really one of the first ones that I ever read anything about SMRs, and I really wish that he kind of did more about that topic every once in a while, just to kind of refresh everybody. SMRs and data centers and shit like that, just things that are going to apparently drain our energy. And it's funny. I feel like everybody in that clique of Mouthwash, that like the fans that watch, the people that are on the panels, the guests, we're all in this like middle ground of not trusting anything. But if you see somebody else not trusting the government or the man or whoever's in charge, you almost find an ally in that. And I feel like so far that actually is more important and more valuable than party direction. And I don't know how else to describe that. Oh, and again, anybody, feel free, jump in the comments if you have a question. We're going to move to one of the other highlights. We were talking about Bill and Hillary Clinton testifying and stuff, and let me see. Let's put this on there.
Bill Clinton's hand shaking when he was taking the drink and everything. He didn't look good in his some of the pictures I've seen of him being deposed or whatever. And then Hillary.
Do you remember what in 2015, 2016? I guess when Hillary got the nomination from the Democratic Party and they dropped the balloons.
Oh, and that big power, and she's like,
Yeah, and Bill's
he
like,
made a weird ass. Yeah, it was.
and the meme was, I want to be as delighted as Bill Clinton when he sees balloons. But from that, it made me think that there might be a little bit of a decline going on.
Yeah, well, the
Yeah, but he's
decline.
not president anymore, so it's kind of
No, like
okay.
a cognitive decline or
That's
something
what,
like
yeah,
that.
no, that's what I mean. Like, as
Okay.
long as he's not in office and talking about golden drapes during, during a speech, then I don't think we have to worry. But once our president starts doing that, then yeah. Did you see Tiffany
Well,
roll her
you
eyes?
think about it. You think about. I saw a video.
Did you see Tiffany roll her eyes on that one? I want to go back to that because she does that a lot to me. I feel like on the show anymore, so it's kind of
No, like
okay.
a cognitive decline or
That's
something
what,
like
yeah,
that.
no, that's what I mean. Like, as
Okay.
long as he's not in office and talking about golden drapes during, during a speech, then I don't think we have to worry. But once our president starts doing that, then yeah, we should. And I don't know if our president has started
you
talking
really
about
think
golden
about it,
drapes during speeches. I'm pretty sure he does. Oh, my TDS is kicking up. Just got to breathe. Just got to breathe through it. Just don't look at it. Oh, I did want to say too. A little bit later, I'll Actually, yeah, I'll save that for later. Never mind. So yeah, but talking about Bill and Hillary led to us talking about Iran, and I wanted to kind of share what weirdness I have felt with Iran because of agreeing with Matt Walsh. Something that I swear to God I have never. I don't know that that has ever crossed my mind as possible before, and I'm very happy with this. This is Matt Walsh's responses to uh, invading Iran or not invading Iran, because I don't know if invading Iran is an act of war, but just attacking them from the sky. I think we can sneak by with without regulations at that point. But no, in his first one, if you're a proponent of this war, so be it. Make your case, but lecturing skeptics for not trusting Trump is the dumbest argument you could possibly make. It is perfectly reasonable for Americans to be skeptical of regime change wars in the Middle East. Trump himself was skeptical of them. The idea that we are obligated to just assume it's a good move because Trump decided to do it is asinine, not to mention un-American. Just, yeah, no notes. That whole last sentence was pretty perfect. And I don't know that, I don't know the weight that it did carry, but I know that it carried more weight than if someone on the left said it. Because I feel like that's what they always say, just, oh, you're just going along with Trump. But when someone like Matt Walsh says it, I really feel like there's that's kind of a shift, and he's getting pushback, on this as well. And so this was even from March 1st, so over a week ago, and there's been a lot of, um, you know, changes in everything through then. So it says, what exactly is the end game? The Iranian people rise up and take control of their government. Okay, what does that mean exactly? Which people? How are they taking control? What happens after they do take control? Are we sure the new people, whoever they are, will be better than the old people? How are we going to make sure of that? How are we going to make sure of it while also not putting boots on the ground? This has not been explained. It needs to be. I feel like that is the thought of most Americans. There's a lot of questions on this, and I feel like the answers that we're getting are, well, we can't tell you because then we would be showing our plan to Iran or showing our cards, and it's like, well, there has to be some sort of, I don't know, there has to be some sort of communication and coordination when, I think that one of the things that when we look back on wars that we were successful in, I think we had the country behind us, or at least that was the image that is given to us in history books. Again, like I know that there were people that were against World War I and World War II. They thought it was, too expensive and whatnot, but that needs to be done to get everybody on board. It's absent right now. Right now, all we have are, drones and planes shooting missiles, hitting schools, killing leaders. I mean, take Iran out of it. If you were to put that any other country, how crazy would that be? Like if the president of France got bombed, got killed in a bombing by another country. And I said this on Tuesday. This is one of those things that's going to be in history books because it's all cut and dry. It is, we did this. The United States and Israel bombed Iran, killed their leader without declaring war, according to the Department of War. Fucking make that make sense, okay? And then like the last one. So this one's from March 2nd, Matt Walsh. So far, we've heard that although we've killed the whole Iranian regime, this was not a regime change war. And although we obliterated their nuclear program, we had to do this because of their nuclear program. And although Iran was not planning any attacks on the US, they also might have been, depending on who you ask. And although we're not fighting this war to free the Iranian people, they are now free, or might be, depending on who seizes power. And we have no idea who that will be. The messaging on this thing is, to put it mildly, confused. Again, I think there just needs to be some sort of plan, a concept of a plan. Tommy, let's see. No. I'm sure that these were all like kind of like layered issues that I'd have to look into. I'm just going based off this. Like, do you think that Matt Walsh has a point? Are you surprised that somebody like Matt Walsh is speaking like this, to the point where, you know, the moves made by Trump don't make sense to the base? And I feel it, and again, too, with Obama sending billions to Iran, I mean, we just sent, what, 40 billion to Argentina. I don't know what we do with money. That kind of money doesn't even seem real. It's just for, you know, shaggy-haired presidents of South American countries with chainsaws who, you know, it is not grocery money. Like that type of exchange, I guess. It's different. And I feel like there's like a lack of understanding, even with me. With me, like, I don't get the macroeconomics, the global economics of everything. I mean, I think that's what makes everybody so freaked out about what is going on, is that there's so many options of what could be happening. It's leading us to just not believe really anything that we see, or, you know, we kind of believe snippets. And that's even looking at Matt Walsh, like, I was surprised by this, because I mean, he's the guy who wrote What is a Woman? Or what is I don't know, whatever. And I think he made a movie on it too. He and I disagree on most everything. His tactics, the way that he subtly like bullies people, hate it. But look at what we're agreeing on. This is so weird. I agreed with Tim Kramer the other day. Again, holy shit. Never would have thought that. And then here, this one's from today. Let's see. It says, marching through the world and clearing out the bad guys. Hang on. Actually, this is in response. I'll read the Lindsey Graham part first. If we get in a fight, I want to win it quick. I'm in Miami. You see this hat? Free Cuba. Stay tuned. The liberation of Cuba is upon us. We're marching through the world. We're clearing out the bad guys. Okay, so then we have Matt Walsh's response of, yeah, marching through the world and clearing out the bad guys is a very clear articulation of the neocon war hawk mentality. It's also been rejected by conservative voters for the last 10 years at least. Lindsey Graham wants to drag us back into it. He has no children and doesn't care what kind of harm it brings to the future generations of Americans. That is a hard thing to disagree with. That it is just a surprising day when I'm reading tweets from Matt Walsh or Marjorie Taylor Greene and going like, yeah, that made a whole lot of sense. When for the last like 5 or 6 or I don't even know how long time is anymore. Yeah, however long that was, never would have agreed on any of that kind of shit. It is all. I feel like I'm living in the twilight zone now because we're agreeing on certain things, but then it's not really enough to really band together. So all we're doing is kind of pulling each other apart. We can do better. All right, let's go, Indiana. Oh yeah, okay. This is one of my other favorite things. I know you guys are going to be like, Brian Tyler Cohen, he's such a lib. Department of War, they hung the sign, started a war, and then they said it's not a war. I don't know at what point does it become a war. How, if another country did this to us, would we not have felt war was declared upon us? Does it actually require a declaration of war from somebody first? Especially, I mean, I know that we're supposed to have fired. Did we fire first? I think we did fire first, but that was preemptive strikes, because we thought that they were going to hit us, so we had to hit them first. It's classic cat in a box. And then, oh yeah, okay, on the left, why haven't I heard a single Republican asking, how are we going to pay for all this? Referring to the billions we're spending attacking Iran, when they constantly ask that when we try to institute universal health care and social services for the poor. So many people were like giddy about getting people off of food stamps this past year. It was weird. Same thing with not even getting people off of food stamps, but what you could or couldn't eat. Like, everybody had a real big interest in what was allowed on that. And it's, I don't know if we don't see how weird it is when we're like arguing about people eating, but then when we're like talking about missiles, it's just put all the money in it, everything. I'm okay. More missiles. Tommy put down, Trump did something others talked about, and Democrats are upset it wasn't them. That could be. I mean, Iran has been an issue. Who was that one congressman? He said something like that, where Iran has been they've been an issue or an imminent threat for 47 years. How the hell can you be an imminent anything for 47 years? Either shit or get off the pot, and if we have you to the point where you're not getting a nuclear weapon, tough shit. You're not getting one. I don't know. More countries don't need nuclear weapons. We have to figure out what to do with all the nuclear energy that we can create now. That wasn't the point of the creation. Just because it can destroy everything doesn't mean that's the only thing it can do. But we have to figure out how to do these things safely and with human intellect, not, AI data centers and robots and whatnot. So, I think there was one more slide on this. Oh yeah, okay. This was Trump's. Wait. Yeah, this was Trump's tweet from the other day. He had it says, we just included a very good meeting with the largest U.S. defense manufacturing companies where we discussed production and production schedules. He highlighted they have agreed to quadruple production of the exquisite class weaponry, in that we want to reach as rapidly as possible the highest levels of quantity. So get ready, guys, for the exquisite class. Expansion began 3 months prior to the meeting. So, wait, did they know 3 months prior to the meeting that we were going to be doing this? And if they knew 3 months prior to the meeting, then how long was this planned? Let's not worry about details. That says we have, oh, and then he highlighted this other part. We have a virtually unlimited supply of medium and upper medium grade munitions, which we are using as an example in Iran and recently used in Venezuela. Regardless, however, we have also increased orders at these levels. So again, virtually unlimited supply, which would mean too that basically an unlimited budget, I'd say, like, unless those two don't go hand in hand, which I don't know how you could just bomb things with bombs you didn't pay for. But hey, we'll see how this where this goes. This isn't going to be an endless war, you guys. Not an endless war. You know, that's not what he ran on. He's the president of peace. President of peace, according to FIFA, the World Cup, guys, because we're living in 2026. Yeah. All right, let's go over to concerts. Oh, no, wait. No, this is actually, I wanted to play something because I love this part. Okay, so Trump has like the weirdest vocabulary when it comes to military items, I feel like. So when he talks about exquisite class, and I get the feeling like he hears things and then makes up names. And so this actually brought me back to a moment in his first term when he actually created. It was the day that he created the Space Force, which again, I wonder how they're actually helping with Iran. I would love to hear how Space Force itself is actually using its resources to help with Iran. I'm sure it is, but no. Here's Trump talking about one of the weapons to look out for in the near future during the first term.
At a level that nobody's ever seen before. We have no choice. We have to do it with the adversaries we have out there. We have, I call it the super duper missile. And I heard the other night 17 times faster than what they have right now. Then you take the fastest missile we have right now. You've heard Russia has 5 times, and China's working on 5 or 6 times. We have one 17 times. And
17 times.
Just gotten the go-ahead. 17 times faster, if you can believe that, General. That's something, right? 17 times faster than what we have right now. Fastest in the world by a factor of almost 3. So I just want to congratulate everybody and thank everybody. Space is going to be...
I don't get how he does that math, by the way.
both
Like,
in terms of defense and offense and so many other things. And already, from what I'm hearing and based on reports, we're now the leader in space. So we're doing something that is such a monumental task. So it's been more than 72 years. The Air Force, I believe, was the last one. And so we have Air Force, and not since the Air Force has anything like this happened. And now we have Space Force added on with full honors, I must add, with full honors.
Okay, sorry. That was, he loves smiling next to flags. You know, that's like the most presidential thing I think he does, and he does it well. I don't care for like the stroking of the flags or anything like that. I feel like that's a little bit, over the top.
Against allegations that he mixed.
This last part I want to talk about before we go is Diego. Because Republicans, I don't know what you guys are gonna do this spring. I'll talk more about redistricting later, but Diego, you guys better put your eggs in Shelton's basket and go that route. Go the route of down the middle, like integrity on both sides. That's what Shelton is about. I've heard him rail against Republicans, against Democrats. He just does not like people who do not follow the process. It is all about that for him. So there's a clip now. Diego has some allegations that he I'll just play this.
Official business with campaign business.
The Marion County Election Board first raised allegations last year after watching a video of Morales' campaign website. Our 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker explains the board's latest actions and what they want the state's top investigator to do now.
This is the video still on the Morales campaign website that the Marion County Election Board says shouldn't be there. The board says it shows Morales on official business visiting the county's Election Services Center on Election Day 2025.
He took this video for what we thought were official purposes.
But Marion County Clerk of Courts Kate Sweeney Bell, who's on the bipartisan election board, says months later the video showed up on Morales' campaign website.
Regardless of title, that is, nobody gets to do that. You don't get to spend government dollars to advance your political career.
Sweeney Bell says the board sent a letter to Morales asking him to take down the video, but got no response.
People make mistakes, and if it was a mistake, he wasn't copping to it.
So the board's attorneys launched an investigation. According to Sweeney Bell, their investigation showed Morales violated the state's election laws.
We decided to give him one more chance to address this or to take it down.
That was last month. Sweeney Bell says when they got no response again, the election board moved forward with today's votes, both unanimous. One, to turn over their investigation's findings to the State Inspector General and Ethics Commission to look into the matter further. The other vote to only give Morales access to public spaces at Marion County's Election Services Center on primary election day.
To take the step to keep someone who is an elected official, the chief elections officer for the state of Indiana, away from our poll workers and our ballots, we take this very seriously.
The Morales campaign says it did respond to the election board via email yesterday with this letter they provided to 13 News. The letter accuses the allegations of
You responded
politically motivated
yesterday?
and says the board had no jurisdiction over the election laws it claims were violated. The letter also says the video of Morales from Election Day was first posted to the Secretary of State's official website and social media pages and was part of the public domain months before any campaign video was created. The letter also points out the video showed the Secretary of State visiting multiple counties. The letter goes on to say, quote, "There is no evidence, and your investigation identifies none, that state personnel, equipment, or funds were used to produce the campaign advertisement itself. Without such evidence, the central element of an alleged misuse of state resources simply does not exist." But Sweeney Bell says neither her office nor the election board ever received that email. Sweeney Bell says it's now up to the Inspector General and Ethics Commission to decide what they think.
In Marion County, if you do something wrong, we're gonna call you out and call you on it and do everything in our power to show the voters here that even if you are the chief elections official for the state, you're not above the law.
In Indianapolis, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
13 News reached out to the Inspector General's office to ask about an investigation. They sent us a statement saying they could not confirm if they were looking into the allegations because any investigation is confidential.
That is pretty convenient. Okay, with Diego. So he got all those messages and he sent an email to the Marion County officials on March 5th, which is 3 days ago. So he knew that he was getting in trouble. And at that point is when he wrote the email. I do love that he doubled down on a lot of stuff, saying that it was in more than one place. So does that mean that he's guilty in more than one place. I didn't kind of follow his line of thinking on that one. But then even with that, he said that it was in public, or it was uploaded to the Secretary of State's website first, at which point it becomes public domain. But he's the one who uploaded it to the Secretary of State website. So now he's claiming public domain because it was just online for anyone to use. Again, there's the person who was in charge of elections in Indiana should not have this kind of drama attached to them. I want somebody who's boring. I want somebody who is steadfast in rules and just, isn't trying to make it a glamorous position, because it isn't. It's just, if it's about elections, it's about elections. And people are getting pretty fired up about having, elections that count, elections that matter, legal elections. And we have people like this in charge of them. So again, Diego Morales is up for election. Republicans, I would go for David Shelton. Democrats, let's pick one and then just go. Okay, we can win this. All right, we're gonna end with concerts. Looking forward for the summer. Dave Matthews Band's coming to Deer Creek June 26th and June 27th. Going to both of those. I might sell some grilled cheese. Thinking about that. I don't know though. I feel like I could make more money at Dave selling grilled cheeses than fish, honestly. But I don't know. Fish is going to be July 10th, 11th, and 12th. So I got 5 shows lined up for Deer Creek. Not looking forward to paying the $20 parking each time. God, it's $100. Like, they don't. Live Nation, get out of here with that noise. And then, August 13th in Indy, at White River State Park. Humphreys, McGee, and Moe. Last April, I went to New Orleans on a Tuesday night to see a midnight show of both of these bands their band members combined. So on the right, that's who played. So I'm really hoping that they're going to do something cool like that again. Like maybe do one set Humphreys, one set Moe, and then just a free-for-all set. Yeah, that would be sweet. But now I'm going to just play off from last summer, or summer 2024, the Fish concert. Gonna play the end of Fuego because it has a little nod to Diego. But yeah, when this is done, it's out. Love you guys. Have fun. If it was stolen. Diego, if it was stolen. Night, everybody. Love you.